5 different nachos.
Hello, you are listening to the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio. I'm Caleb.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Jeremy.
And in today's show, of course, as always, thirdly, we will have your nerd vocab. But first up, we have your movie news. And then we'll have your inevitable Nintendo news.
It always happens.
I have to look at Jeremy every
without
time.
fail.
And then,
You still feel guilty.
what's that? Squeenix news?
Squeenix and other little kind of video game-esque news.
Yes, and then lastly, of course, we will have your technology news, which is really only about one big thing that's happened.
It's super cool.
Yeah, it really is. And that's all going to happen here within the hour on the Nerd Edification Hour, as the name suggests. So, Rachel, Jeremy, you got Spider-Man fever over there.
Love you some Spider-Man.
All right. So basically, they're talking about who's going to follow in the footsteps of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield as the next live-action Marvel and / Sony Spider-Man for the movie franchise. They've actually cast 19-year-old English actor and dancer Tom Holland.
Wait,
He's really good at doing flips, by the way.
It's a bet I have no
I have a
idea who he
joke.
is.
Can I
I
say
don't
a
know
joke?
who he is. What?
I can't believe it's not Butterfield.
I'm done.
I just had to take a step back and I'm applauding you here. Oh, that was.
Don't encourage him.
I know. I do think that is possibly the best joke that you've ever made.
Oh, okay.
I'm not joking, but I read up on him a little bit after I saw that he was announced because I love me some Spidey, and he's actually really, really good at acrobatics. Like, super good. Like, I can do a backflip, land on my feet, sort of good.
Oh, well, aren't we all
I saw
impressed?
a picture of him. So, I mean, he's, they are sticking with a much younger version. They're going back to,
Now,
the earlier teenage Spider-Man.
keep in mind, though, it doesn't come out till 2017, so he has a little bit time to grow.
Yeah, so
Well, they
2
wanted to keep
years
him. They
is
wanted
what
to keep him
said.
as
Yeah.
younger one anyway. So I mean,
Yeah.
they're probably already filming some of this stuff.
Some of
Wouldn't
it,
be
yeah.
surprised.
No, he is actually going to be on set, like now, ASAP for Captain America's Civil War.
Right.
Yeah, like the executive Marvel Studios guy, Kevin Feige, the name that is interesting, that is spelled in a way that I don't know how to pronounce it. He has said that, according to the reporters Greg Kilday, who talked to him, I guess, Holland will report immediately to the set of that's currently being used by Captain America Civil War, which Marvel is scheduled for a May 6, 2016 release, in which the newest Spider-Man will make his very first on-screen appearance. So either it's going to be like an after-credit scene, or he's going to pop up every now and then and help out the, kind of pseudo-disbanded Avengers.
I have a feeling he might be the point kind of in between, like for the viewer to understand both sides of it. Because he was,
Maybe.
Spider-Man in the actual comic was pulled back and forth a lot.
Right.
As a centerpiece for that. The other thing I'd read about it before is when he did his screen tests, he actually did those with Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr.
Which is good.
Which hopefully those will show up eventually, because those are usually hilarious.
They are. they really, really are. He's not, like as we kind of emphasized, we don't really know who this guy is. I have no idea who
No,
he is.
I've never heard of him.
I've never heard of this.
I've never heard of really any actor.
I didn't know who Garfield
anyone
was
is.
either until he took it over. I really liked Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I thought he really fit the role, quite well. He just had really bad movies he was stuck in.
Yeah, I mean, this new guy, Tom Holland, he's an up-and-comer, as they say, in the entertainment industry.
Just like us.
Fun. In 2012, he starred in The Impossible alongside Naomi Watts and Ewan McGregor. So those are relatively famous people. Pretty famous. I love Ewan McGregor because he's Lumiere. Yeah. And he just finished filming In the Heart of the Sea with Chris Hemsworth. So he knows Chris Hemsworth. He's worked with him before. So, knowing him might have kind of pushed the envelope a little bit, as they say. But, I mean, Spidey's in an interesting state of flux right now. They have the new actor with the whole reset of the Marvel universe. Now,
Secret Wars.
Yeah, with Secret Wars going on, they've started up that they released this one comic that kind of followed the events of what happened when Spidey actually married Mary Jane and had
you're
basically
talking about the deal with the devil one?
Yeah, they
that was
totally,
the one more day where he made a deal with Mephisto trying to save the life of other people.
Yeah.
In exchange, he had to give up his previous life for that.
Well,
so he still knew about it, but no one else did.
Right. As we reported on that a while ago, they've kind of axed that, and given with the Secret Wars thing, they released a thing having to do with, well, this is what would have happened if that hadn't occurred. And now they're saying that Miles Morales is going to be the new Marvel Universe Spider-Man that's canon and core.
One of the two continuity ones, because Parker is still alive this time.
Instead of dead, like he was when Miles Morales first appeared.
But he's not going to be doing it as actively. He's kind of hanging, he's doing part-time.
Yeah, like he's kind of, I guess, mentoring Miles Morales in this sense, which says to me, they're going to continue on with the he's married to Mary Jane storyline. Maybe. I mean, I don't know.
Because it's interesting. I mean, the original one, Miles Morales got his abilities the same way Parker did before Parker died. But refused to use them because his dad, feared heroes and his mom hated him and so forth. So until after seeing Parker beat to death, basically, and then what happened to his mom, he decided then to try and become Spider-Man. That's where he got the suit and went from there. So it's going to be a little bit different, or how they're going to explain that with him kind of getting into it now anyways, with Parker still alive.
Yeah. So, I mean, it makes sense to me, because if they're going with the storyline that, Parker has a wife and a child now, he doesn't really want to be out there all the time. So, of course, what do? You mentor another person.
Yeah.
That it makes perfect sense to me, and
Spider-Man boy wonder.
It's kind of realistic to me in that sense, because I like that Marvel's taking that route where, even though they're superheroes, which aren't exactly realistic in itself, they're still taking a realistic storyline, which is very interesting to me.
Well, like the fact, I've always liked Miles Morales for the fact that they made a new character to kind of pass it on. Spider-Man being a mantle can be passed to another person, just like Captain America went to Falcon.
And now Thor, Hammer has gone on to...
Yeah, because Thor's still running around, he doing his thing a little bit differently, and I'm fine with that. I never liked when they would take the core character and just change it to try and fit a market or do something.
Right.
I like the fact they're making original characters and just kind of passing that mantle where it makes sense.
Yes. I like the route that they've taken. I like the way that Marvel's doing things now. I liked how they were doing things in the past, but I like this too. So this is awesome to me, especially with all the movies that they're putting out. Oh my God.
Money makers.
They are.
Speaking of movies.
Yes.
So who here is a fan of Independence Day?
I used to be.
I love me some Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum is awesome.
Well, prepare your butts, because there's a new sequel for Independence Day.
Hold on to your ears, guys.
Jeremy, why don't you elaborate on this?
Well, even though we're still a year away from the Independence Day sequel, the cast and crew live streamed a question and answer session on the set. Mostly, they told us what little they could about their characters, and Jeff Goldblum talked very quickly. The synopsis posted along with the live stream is basically, we always knew they were coming back. After Independence Day redefined the event movie genre, the next epic chapter delivers global spectacle on an unimaginable scale. So they're basically talking about how they used alien technology, the nations of Earth collaborated on an immense defense program to protect the planet, but nothing can prepare us for the aliens' advanced and unprecedented force. I feel like I'm reading one of those little commercial trailers.
You need to
Only the ingenuity of a brave few men and women can bring our world back from the brink of extinction.
In a world.
Yeah, exactly.
In
a world. Director Roland Emmerich said that the events of the fictional 1996 has created a post-World War generation who are united against a common threat.
I think it's going to be interesting.
96 the movie came out? I don't remember.
Yes.
Oh. Well,
Yeah, I was still in high school.
I remember distinctly Jeff Goldblum, Will Smith, and the guy who was the hero in Spaceballs. Name is escaping me. Which, fun fact, was actually, I think, released today. Yeah, he played the president's in that, the same guy. But Spaceballs, it's the anniversary of when Spaceballs came out a number of years ago.
I love that movie. Picked up on Blu-ray not too long ago.
Oh, man, I love that movie.
Use the swans.
Fun fact. It was actually, it took Give me a second. What's the name of the writer? It's coming. It'll come to me later.
Mel Brooks?
Mel Brooks. There we go. Every single time. Names. I'm terrible with them sometimes.
Me too.
It must be the fact that I'm tired. I don't know. But anyway, it took him only about 6 hours to write the script.
Good job.
And then it was approved by George Lucas.
Yeah, you got the blessing from him to do it. He's like, wait, really?
Yeah.
Let's go.
George Lucas actually liked all of his previous stuff. And then other fun fact, to do all the special effects, he used the same special effects company that George Lucas did in all the Star Wars films, which is, I didn't even know that. I learned that today when I was making sure our morning This Day in Nerd History went out. And that was a little fun fact that I included that I found. And I was like, wow, I didn't even know that. So I learn something new every day. But
yay. Knowledge.
Exactly.
Is power.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping that they bring back as many as the original actors as they can, because that's important when you do a sequel. Very important.
I wonder how they're going to do it, though. I mean, it's kind of like, where do you go after apocalyptic alien invasion? Where do you go after that?
Post-apocalyptic alien invasion?
Maybe we invade the aliens. Flip it over.
That'd be nice.
We're the
cool.
incursion force now.
Oh, God, we're going to give them ideas, guys.
They'll make a movie about it, I'm sure.
Oh, of course.
All right. Well, that's it for our movie news. We're going to take a break now. If you want to, follow us on our social media stuff and things, you can follow me on Twitter at Nerd Edification, where I occasionally post or try to force myself to post things. Basically, I'll just spam post in the middle of the night. It's kind of weird. And then our Facebook page is the Nerd Edification Hour, if you want to look that up. And then the YouTube channel where we post the show with video. You can look that up on Strangely Entertaining. That's capital S, capital E, all one word. And the song we're going to play during the break is from Splatoon.
Yes.
It's the final boss fight, the first part, which I enjoy.
Next up, we have our inevitable Nintendo news.
Yes.
Yay.
And we'll be right back here on the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio.
And we are back on the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio. My name is Rachel. I have next to me
Jeremy.
And in front of us, we have
Caleb dropping the hot wasabi beats. No?
That's a
Splatoon joke. All right, you don't get it.
You had your one joke for the day.
Yeah, that you already used your joke.
Well, it was a Splatoon reference, I should say. That's what he says during the bus. Anyways, spoilers. In the inevitable Nintendo news that is upon us, so they're saying things about Mother 3, are they not?
They kind of are.
They have made direct references to it, actually.
Yeah. So things have been looking up for Western Mothered fans. As Nintendo first re-released the Earthbound on Wii U Virtual Console.
Which they need to get out on the 3DS.
Yeah. And then they released the original Mother title of Earthbound Beginnings. That's what they called it, even though it's Earthbound
Is it out
1.
or is
it was out the moment they released it.
It came out. They came out the same day the Smash Brothers DLC. It was basically like secret. Look, here's stuff and things.
I'm pretty sure I saw a video online of one of the Kotaku editors crying at the announcement. I'm pretty sure it might have been IGN. I mean, either of them. That seems within their frame
of
Kotaku. It probably was Kotaku. I mean, both of them would probably cry, to be entirely honest.
Well, I mean, that one was originally, the original Mother for NES never got released in America at all. We never saw anything until Earthbound, which was supposed to be Mother 2, which was kind of a reimagining of it a little bit. So this is the first time we've ever got to see it. So I thought it was kind of funny they introduced it as Earthbound Beginnings, and then, went from there, you've got our normal Earthbound, and there's still hope that they'll move on to the Game Boy Advance one, which was Mother 3.
Yeah, they've been asking this question, could Mother 3 be on the way?
Yeah.
What did Reggie say, Rachel?
Nintendo of America's president, Reggie Fils-Aimé, tackled the topic in a recent interview. I mean, tackled is a pretty good word for him. He looks like a former football player.
Even his Muppet is scary.
He is. He really is. He's very intimidating. Very nice, though, but intimidating. Although there are lots of things that Nintendo has to consider with this title, considering how long ago it was released and the fact there has been a fan translation and all that kind of stuff. He has said that they will never say never. Now, mind you, the reason why Earthbound Beginnings was even released was they noticed how well that Earthbound did on the Wii U Virtual Console was when it was released. They're like, man, they really like the fact that we released this, so let's release the other one. And so if it stands to reason that if this one does well, then Nintendo will be like, why not?
See, I wonder if they're going to get the guy who did the fan translation to, I don't know, work with them in a way. Probably not.
Probably
Probably
not,
not.
because
I
their
mean-
Treehouse group is really good at doing localization and at translating some of the Japanese ideas or thoughts they had to a more American context for when they bring them over. So
Nintendo is very, very good at localization.
yeah,
They are. They really are. There's not too much, there's not too much.
if you ever
difference
wonder about
between
that, go
the
back
two.
and look at Super Mario RPG. All the little inside jokes, that and Super Paper Mario are probably some of the best translations they've ever done with their jokes and the sense of humor.
I'm trying to
It's just-
think, did the Nintendo localization team help with the translations for the Ace Attorney games?
I don't know if they did for those. Capcom is pretty good about bringing their own over. They
But
might
they
have
are
helped them out.
they are
but-
also filled with little tiny inside jokes having to do with American pop culture.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm talking the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air rap turned into a circus clown rap.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and you don't even notice it until unless you're paying attention and looking for it. It's ridiculous. But localizations teams, no matter where they are from or what company they work for, will put in tiny jokes like that.
Yeah, they've gotten a lot better because, back when they first started bringing Japanese games over here, the localization was terrible. I remember
Here's looking at you, Star Ocean. Here's looking at you.
a lot of old games, even all the way back to Metal Gear on the NES, I feel asleep.
I feel asleep.
I feel asleep.
Yeah, it was terrible, but
Well, that's how I
we
feel
played
right
it.
now. But
All right.
yeah, I
Wow.
mean that. I always look forward to stuff like that, and I really hope they do it. I hope they listen to the fans. I really do. They've been listening more. I
Maybe
will
we'll
give
even
them
get
that.
a Super HD remake.
Oh god.
Well, originally, Mother 3, the funny thing is, Mother 3, when it was originally announced, was a full 3D game, and then it got downgraded to a Game Boy Advance title, and that's how it got released. It was supposed to be a Nintendo 64 game. They've got screenshots out that show what it looked like in full 3D and everything. So it'd be kind of going from up to down, back up again. I'd be happy if they would just release it on the Virtual Console as a translated Game Boy Advance game, because that would put all three of them on the Wii U for the first time. For any of the consoles, all three
The
of them at
fans
one
would
time.
cry, the sky would open up, and angels would descend
Yeah,
with
'cause
Mario hats on.
I actually do really enjoy playing the Virtual Console games on the Wii U, because it's like holding an oversized Game Boy Advance, and you can just play all these games on it, which is great. So
I agree.
I'd do it.
I would too.
All right.
If I had a Wii U, which I'm saving up for.
You'll get there
Before, to
eventually.
get your Xenoblade.
Yeah. By December
Aha.
4th.
All right.
Until December.
So here's the next bit of news. So Nintendo of
Your
America President Reggie, says that the House of Mario is well aware of the desire amongst the community to see a proper new installment in the, wait for it, Metroid franchise.
Oh, he definitely tackled this topic too.
Goodness. This whole Metroid thing is just...
The more I've looked at
has
it, the more I've
split-
actually liked this game.
It has split the fandom in half.
Well, he
So
yeah, but he approached it in a very good way, I think. He said,
Yeah.
look, we know that fans want a straight Samus Aran game. He told that to Kotaku point blank, just like that. No beating around the
We
bush.
know.
And I guarantee they're working on one.
Yeah, they probably are. He just can't say anything. And he's like, but we also know that the best way to launch a game like that is to surprise and delight them, to give them a launch date in an environment like this and let them play it versus what other companies do, which is to announce a project that you may not see for 5-6 years. Oh, that was such a jab at Square Enix and every
the
other
gauntlet
company.
has been thrown. Shots have been fired.
He took off his glove and glove.
Glove.
He took off his glove and
Trademark
slapped
Nintendo,
the
the
other.
glove.
and he
power
even
glove.
targeted early access games pretty much.
He is-
'cause that's
he's-
kind of what
He's challenged them to a duel.
Well, that is kind of a nice thing, because a lot of people, I looked at it this way, everyone had the reaction from the E3 showing where they definitely had issues with that. But they also did the Treehouse event afterwards where they actually got to play the games and see them. And for most of the titles, I actually turned around and I actually liked what I saw in it. I got to actually see it be played. The Animal Crossing game, no. Yeah. But the rest of it, especially the Metroid, the Federation one, I'm actually liking how it looks. It looks like it could be a really fun co-op game where you can play with people to do these different mission based on a wide variety of environments and everything. And it's nice to finally expand on the universe. We've had almost 8 or 9, almost 10 games just starting Samus for the most part, except for the one DS game where you could play on occasion as other people. That's always been just her point of view. We've never got to see beyond the universe in that. We get lots of hints at it and what everything's going on from the Prime games. But this is the first time we actually get to see more of this universe without her. And this time before, like Halo ODST, people got so upset because you weren't the Master Chief. But it actually ended up being one of my favorite ones.
I think I know what it is. It's like it's change. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, people don't like change.
It's change. You've had this, you've seen through the eyes of this one character, and then they've gotten comfortable with seeing what Samus sees.
Yeah, I like seeing the view from the other side of the street.
Oh, it's nice being, not being the most powerful person around, running around now.
Of course.
And they've even said you'll more than likely see Samus in here. You might run into her still doing stuff. And you're just not going to be her this time.
Yeah, it gets kind of stagnant when you use the same character over and over and over and over again, and you're only seeing the world through their eyes, from their perception of everything. It's nice to see the other side of the story, which I personally think that almost every game company should consider doing that in some way, shape, or form.
I would be ecstatic if we could find out what's going on in the Federation. See,
that's probably the whole point of this game.
This is a theory, and this is all based on the Metroid story stuff. So if you don't follow along, but anyways, what the demo they were showing, they were capturing Beast. Like the ice monsters and stuff. Do you think that has anything to do with like the bottle cap and stuff like that? Where they did biological research on creatures?
You talking about Fusion? I'm talking about station in Fusion where they have the stuff, but
I'm talking about there's like several bottle cap ships that they go over, but
I don't know if it's going to be something like that. I mean, because some of the missions they showed had nothing to do with capturing creatures. Like they were trying to stop space pirates from doing weapons runs, and they were basically being sent out like a troop to do particular missions.
Well, the one I saw, they were trying to capture some ice monster, and that's literally what it's called.
I like the fact that they're doing this. It kind of reminds me in a way of the Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days, where you're members of the organization and you're doing mission-based stuff like that. It's very akin to that for me, which is nice because you're seeing another...
Even your favorite series, Final Fantasy VII, had... like Crisis Core, which showed that world from a whole other perspective.
From inside Shinra and working as a soldier, which delighted me.
I actually like that game.
I loved that game. I'm going to probably go home and play it. I'm not the biggest fan of 7,
but Crisis Core I did play. I loved it.
And the combat system was interesting and very different. It had like a slot machine, which was weird but great. And so that was cool. But I'm glad that gaming companies are paying attention to, let's see what the other side is doing. Let's see what these other people are doing. Because, there aren't too many book series which only do everything that's going on through one character.
Right.
And so why should games? Why should movies? This can open up a whole new argument that we could probably talk for another hour.
Oh, yeah.
When I first saw it, I was like...
I think a lot of us...
You were livid. I think your hair was on fire.
But I'm kind of slowly opening up to it, and I'm probably
a lot of people had a negative context to it because they were so expecting an actual Samus full-blown Metroid.
I was.
So we saw that, and they showed it off the night before at the Nintendo Championship a little bit, the blast ball part, the multiplayer.
How did that end up going? What was the end result of that?
I really, really want to get Super Mario Maker.
Okay.
That's how that went, because that was insane, the levels they made.
I was sad because Aaron didn't do too well from Game Grumps. I was rooting for him.
No, the final worlds they had and the things they did, I didn't even realize they could do in that game. It was brutal.
Yeah.
So
all right.
Moving right along.
Go ahead, Rachel. This is your thing right here.
This is my thing.
This is your thing.
Okay, you guys have heard of Yokai Watch, right?
Only from you.
It's kind of like Pokemon, but it's like Studio Ghibli made Pokemon and put it in a kind of suburb Japan, if that makes sense at all.
Right. There you go. Studio Ghibli.
It's very very similar stylized art. In the insanely popular Yokai Watch video game series, it's coming to North America on 3DS later this year, presumably in fall. And guess what? So is the accompanying anime.
Ooh.
Yep.
But guess who has the rights for it to air it? Disney.
Of course they.
Which is a little bizarre, honestly, because
They went in on that Pokemon.
I guess
hype
they
train
do.
or something like that.
They kind of want to go more into the anime route, I think.
Well, it's kind of an everybody wins because, Nintendo is going to make a bunch of money off the game because it's going to be popular. Disney's going to ride on that wave with the cartoon, which will go back and forth. The game makes the cartoon better, cartoon makes the game better.
Exactly.
And then who else is going to benefit from this?
Us.
No, Hasbro.
Yes,
Because they're
of course.
making toys.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Things
of course
kids
they are.
need.
Yeah, so they struck a deal to broadcast the 26 half-hour episodes of the children's show starting sometime later this year, presumably to go along with the launch of the game. It's currently the top show for children's ages 4 to 12, and probably a second number of how high it is probably people our age on TV Tokyo. And as previously reported, the Yokai Watch toy line will also be coming to North America through Hasbro in spring of next year. So there's like you said, a lot of people benefit from it. Us, Disney,
From us.
Nintendo.
Hasbro is going to make a lot
Hasbro.
of money off of my family this year because I buy a lot of Transformers. And now I guarantee my kids are going to want these too.
Hasbro is the king of toys.
I grew up with Hasbro.
Oh, me too. Me too. But, and speaking of Pokemon Jukebox is now on Android. You could download Pokemon sounds and music to your phone and stuff, and it looks fun. I mean, you
Yeah,
can have it as
I have it.
ringtones.
It looks
However, it
interesting.
is also filled with microtransactions.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Very heavily.
So you got to be careful. Some of the things you can get are probably free. Some of them are not.
Yeah, the Pokemon Jukebox, it's not, get this straight, this is not one of the Nintendo applications.
No.
Because Pokemon, while the rights and everything are owned by Nintendo, it's also owned by a company called Game Freak.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much connected directly with Nintendo, but also independent. That's the
Right.
weird thing about them. So,
Yeah, they're odd.
So this is actually their app. We still haven't seen what Nintendo's doing with their phone.
It's like a
phone apps yet.
soundboard. It's like a soundboard is what it is. If you go on Android or even on it's not so much on. They don't have these things on Apple really. If they do, it's very few and it's not all that great. But on the Android phones, you can get soundboards and you can also download any of the sounds on that soundboard and use them as ringtones on your phone. That is how I got like 90% of all my ringtones when I used to have a Droid. And they're really cool. They're really cool. You can have them for TV shows, movies, anything you could think of.
Nice.
So that's very similar to what that is. But yeah,
Well, that'll be it for our Nintendo news.
it is
Next up,
inevitable,
we'll have your nerd vocab and then other assorted video game news.
including Squeenix,
Squeenix!
my favorite.
So, has anybody here played Transistor?
Yes.
Well, this is a song from there. It's
goody.
In Circles. You know,
Nice.
I'm talking about the fun. And yeah, so we'll be right back here on the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio.
All right, welcome back to the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio. I'm Jeremy, to my left,
I'm Rachel.
and across from me.
I'm Caleb. What's up? Olo.
The sky.
Okay, well,
That's a whole relative matter. I could explain that, but yeah, moving on.
Jeremy, what's the nerd vocab for today?
The nerd vocab today is combo. Combo is short for combination. Combination is a set or series of different actions, colors, or sounds put together. Most famously mentioned in Killer Instinct is combo breaker.
Exactly. Combos are like when you do a number of attacks in quick succession.
Basically,
Or
string them
A
together.
pretzel
Exactly.
snack.
That's also true. The only flavor that I've ever seen anybody
combos.
eat is pizza flavor,
Those are great.
which they are great. I will say that.
There is the pretzel with cheese. Those are good too, though.
Yeah. Combos are everywhere in video
I've had the
games,
buffalo
though.
ones before.
I
They're
haven't had
nice.
those in years.
Yeah. Combos are everywhere in video games, mostly in combat.
Yeah.
Not the snack, but the
Fighting games. I mean,
actual
Killer Instinct
combo.
is all about combos, but a lot of the
Yeah.
newer games, like even Batman, use the combinations.
And the
things
more
like that.
combos you do, the more points you get.
Devil May Cry.
Allied Devil May Cry.
Yeah,
Which
we'll
is stylish, deadly, all sorts of different stuff that you get awards for. And
probably get to that later.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, and that's definitely I for one think, and also the more combos you do, the more attack points that you hit as well, the stronger your attack is. You can put on certain abilities on your characters to do more combos. Typically, the starting out default number of combos you could do in any game is 3, and then any additives or level stuff having to do with what level you are is added, going up to like 5 or 6. Generally, that's the average, I'd say, unless you're playing like a strict fighting game where you could do as many combos as you darn well please.
That's where we have those lovely infinite combo glitches for people use for Street Fighter and other games.
Yes, exactly.
Forget those guys. Dang. Rachel, what's going on with the Squeenix?
So much.
This is your kind of field right here.
This is totally my thing. Through a translation by Gematsu, it has been revealed that not only does Square Enix have a release date planned and set, but the game is also fully on track. And new details for the game can be expected to be revealed at D23 in Japan on November 3rd, which is the big Disney expo for their D23 club. It's their very exclusive club that you can become a member of.
Basically, all the Japanese companies like, nah, we won't show anything at E3. We'll just wait till the Tokyo whatever we have over here and show it then.
Look,
like, come on, guys. Really.
Well, you got to understand that's their home country.
Well, still.
And
well, fine. We'll just keep everything over here about that. Be that way.
Okay, like this is my favorite. This is my favorite gaming company, and I'm not panicked or mad at this at all because I expect.
Silly.
No, not really. This is what they've done forever. I expect this from them. I don't expect anything less or for them to change at all.
Yeah,
the only changes that they've made is going back to the way they used to be and actually listening to the fans, and that's good.
Yeah, E3's kind of lost its importance for
really has.
Some of the bigger announcements. I mean, like I said, people were upset about the stuff with Nintendo, but we get Nintendo Directs almost every month where they announce some pretty big stuff. Even before E3, they announce new games and things like that. Microsoft's holding off for Gamescom in Germany?
Yes.
So they're going to be showing off Crackdown 2 and more of their games there. This is just kind of how it is now. They spread it out more throughout the year instead of just one big blowout.
Yeah, well, see, there's so many new and different conventions and stuff and options that they can do. Like, I mean, they could put all of their announcements on their YouTube channel. Nintendo Direct I think they put their stuff up on their YouTube channel after the fact, after the stream.
At the same time, yeah.
And then also Square Enix does a live stream as well called Square Enix Presents, and they announce things on those too because, with how technology has grown, they have options. They don't have to do it at E3. It's not, they don't have that lock-in thing like they used to do, like they used to have. And I for one think it's good for them to have options. And if they want to do it at a different convention, if they just want to announce it digitally or on video on YouTube and stuff like that, then that is their prerogative. It's their game. They could do whatever they want.
It makes a lot more sense, though, because maybe if you remember the older E3s, there'd be exclusive companies that were holding, the rights to show the videos and things like that.
Exactly.
Like the IGN might be doing it, and if you want to see a video or showed someone, you had to pull up IGN.
Right.
Now it'll be like, hey, I want to show you about this game. Oh, they did gameplay. Here it is. They put it on YouTube, and you just show anybody.
Exactly.
Everyone can share it on their pages easier. I mean, they get the word out so much faster.
Technology is so great.
Yeah.
And also, now people can just look at patents and kind of interpret information, too, which is nice.
Which I feel that's kind of cheating. But what does it say about what does that say about the release date? Did we get to that?
No. There is no actual release date that they can say. They have decided on it, and it is set in stone. But they are not going to say anything about it until November 3rd.
Okay.
Which means they haven't mentioned anything else about 15. But they'll be at the Tokyo Game Show, which stands to reason if they're going to announce a release date at D23 for Kingdom Hearts, they might announce a release date for 15 at Tokyo Game Show. This is just speculation on my part. My sources have not confirmed or denied or raised eyebrows at me. So I can't really say whether or not it is, but hey. But an announcement for the Kingdom Hearts release date, as I said, could happen at D23. So that's
Yay.
Maybe
not.
So how about that other big announcement?
Oh, God.
All right. One of the biggest announcements made during the E3 was the Final Fantasy VII remake.
And everybody cried and probably crapped their shorts.
I didn't. I kind of laughed. Gamers have been asking
finally.
Gamers have been asking for a remake for years, and mind you, not another PC remake, an actual remake, because they've re-released it I don't know how many times. And after Square Enix's troll during the PlayStation experience last December, we're beginning to think that this was never going to happen. Thankfully, it is, and according to the comments director Tetsuya Nomura made to Wired, It sounds like the game will be more reimagined than remake. He notes, in terms of taking such an iconic game and giving it a fresh feel, we can't go into too much detail, but we're not intending for this to become a one-to-one remake or just the original Final Fantasy VII with better graphics. Though they will be changing some things around, it doesn't sound like they'll be removing the iconic moments you're probably excited to see once the title officially launches. Nomura notes, we don't want to interfere with what makes the original title so iconic. He continued, there are certain plot points we don't want to interfere with or disturb, nor will we want to change elements that the fans have become very big attachments to.
Which means certain scenes are going to remain the same.
Spoiler, Air still dies.
Exactly. And probably the big, meteor cutscene and the ending fight cutscene with Sephiroth is probably going to remain the same. I do hope that they keep the cloud and address scene, that entire thing.
They showed a picture.
Good, because that's just an edit on Photoshop.
That was someone messing with it, but they did mention that they are doing it still.
Yeah, because that is very memorable to fans and also hilarious. So they can't take it out. That's a fan favorite.
Well, a lot of people are wondering in this day and age how they're going to handle that as well.
Well, they're probably going to handle it, I think, the same way that they have, in a sense, with recently what they've been doing with 15. Once they get a working beta, once they get a working kind of demo of it, they'll probably release it with something else. And you get exclusive access to it, and you can then do a survey. They're probably, because that worked really well.
Here's a game no one wants, in a way you're going to buy it.
Yeah. So that's probably how they're going to do it. And hey, it was not a bad marketing idea, you have to admit. Type 0 got bought just so people could play the 15 demo.
And then immediately traded in. There are so many copies just floating there untouched.
There
now.
was.
Wow.
I'm not going to lie, there was. I kept
same
mine.
day.
It's a good game, though. I'm enjoying it. It's interesting. It's different, but it's a good game. But like I said, it's we'll see what happens. They'll probably start announcing more. I would not expect until next year this time, probably, if at all. They probably want to keep it really close under wraps and not say too much so they don't build up the hype too much and therefore disappoint people.
Yeah, this kind of goes back to the previous thing with Reggie. We was talking about, games being announced years ahead. We might not see this thing for 2-3 years.
Yeah, so they're going to, it's very smart that they're going to say what they can and say what they think is necessary for them to say, but they'll play it pretty close to the vest, which is smart on their part since this is something fans have been asking for years. And
they just repeatedly put out the PC version over and over.
Exactly. Yeah. They don't want to mess it up. And now we move on to,
Batman.
Yes. Speaking of PC ports.
Oh, boy.
Rocksteady has issued a statement regarding the issues of the Batman PC port, saying that it's working to get them resolved.
Yeah, if you haven't heard, the PC port of Arkham Knight is not so great.
And they've also shuffled the blame to another studio because they were the one who handled.
They threw them under the Batmobile.
Yeah, because the Rocksteady was like, look, hey, it's not our fault.
We didn't do it.
Another company did the PC port.
We didn't do it. We just
not
made
our
the
fault.
game.
Because, they never would have looked into their own, own thing.
Yeah.
Just kind of let it go.
Yeah.
Numerous reports are surfacing of Batman.
Surfing. Batman does surf.
Yes,
even got shark.
Exactly. They are surfing into people's inboxes of the Batman Arkham Knight PC port suffering from performance problems. People have experienced the issue. I don't know if anyone here has played the PC port that can, attest to this. It includes frequent stuttering and audio glitches while moving around the open world. So pretty much, I guess, Batman either tries to do a break dance or he suddenly has a stutter or the audio clips like a poorly downloaded and recorded audiobook or something like that.
Well, some of the other issues they had is like the frame rate would drop some people down to 5 frames a second for certain things during driving.
Oh, God.
It was capped at 30 frames. No matter how good of a system you had, you couldn't go over it unless you gone in and edited stuff.
Which is not something you should be doing
terrible.
on PC, first of all. But why does this happen for PC? Why? I do not understand. Why
I'm
do
reminded
they do this?
of older games and like actual CDs if it gets scratched, or if you have an actual audiobook, like a book on tape, if the tape itself gets all blah, 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 it'll be like and then just clip and start clipping in the background. And you can still hear the audio fine, but then all you hear is in the background. That's what I'm imagining. But people are just like, why does this happen for PC? Why? Like, basically, if you go on Steam right now and you look at the Arkham Knight PC port, it is, like, flooded with complaints. The NeoGAF boards are flooded with complaint. Like, it's everywhere. It's very sad for Batman fans right now.
Well, I'm wondering, I'd like to see the numbers of how it's sold, and two, how many people are taking advantage of the whole thing with Steam where you can get refunds now if they're just getting their money back from it and waiting till it's fixed.
Yeah.
Because they may be just like, well, I'll just play something else. Because I've been playing it on Xbox One, I have friends playing it on PS4, and it's actually run just fine. And yes, I have mentioned before I wasn't going to get this, and then I ended up changing my mind.
You lied.
No, my son wanted to play Arkham City. I started playing it again. I was showing him to the combat, and then I really wanted to play more. So I just gave in. But, go ahead.
Nightwing's in this one, so I might have to pick it up or borrow it from a friend.
Oh, there's more than that.
Yeah,
there's
I know that, but I like Nightwing, okay?
Well, just as a little clue for listeners, it's not giving away anything in the story. I won't tell you what's happening with it, but pay attention to the signs around the city. They mess with them where you'll just glance away and look back, and they'll actually change a little bit. And there's a whole reason behind that, but I don't want to mess it up.
There's also Easter eggs having to do with something else.
Oh, there's Easter eggs for everything. And even early ones, like in the police station, I found a reference to John Jones,
There's Superman Easter eggs everywhere.
Oh, I found those. Yeah, the Metropolis posters.
Everywhere, yeah. So it's great. It's really cool. So, Caleb, what games are out this week?
Well, as we heard before, Arkham Knight is out. Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, which I've been playing, is actually pretty good because you could play as Virgil.
Excuse you? What? Why did I hear about this? What consoles is
You
it
haven't heard? Well,
Xbox One and PS4.
Well, I'm going to go to GameStop after this.
and PC. It's on the PC as well.
What's a PC?
And you can play as Trish and that one girl with the big gun.
Does the storyline change at all? Does it have any extra scenes in addition to that?
I think it's including some of the original DLC.
It does have extra scenes, but as far as the storyline, no, it doesn't really change. But it's still pretty fun to play as Virgil, I'm telling you.
Because I love Virgil. He's so great. But I'm gonna goodbye, guys.
Obliterate everything with. Yeah.
I'm going to GameStop.
I got 2 mics now.
Hey. And
I'm back. They were out.
Then we have Final Fantasy 15's Heaven Sword.
No,
it's
not 15.
14.
Excuse you.
You typed it.
I didn't type it.
Someone typed it.
I typed it.
I just changed the color.
Is it not 15? I thought it was
14.
No, 14.
Excuse me, it said
14
Somebody done messed up where I got it from. Excuse me, I don't know. Then we have Tales from the Borderlands Episode 3. I don't know if anybody's really cared about it.
People are excited about that.
And then Art Academy Home Studio for Wii U.
Yay!
There wasn't really anything for movies. I would have included movie releases this week, but there's really nothing. It was like, oh.
Isn't the Minions movie due to come out soon as well? It's soon.
I haven't really heard anything about it.
In the next month, I want to say.
It's not in theaters, but at least I went and saw Kingsman yesterday. That was actually pretty good. I liked it.
But, yep, that's it for our general video game news.
All right.
And next up, we'll have a little short bit of technology news. And the song we're going to play during the break is What's Up by Non-Blondes. Kyle, did I get that right? No?
Nope. Good job.
Oh, boy. Well, we'll get the right name after the break. And you're listening to the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio. And you are listening to the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio. We are at the tail end of the show, and let's just jump straight into the technology news.
There's going to be a hover bike.
Yay! It's a hover bike.
There's the British and American engineers announced a deal with the U.S. Department of Defense to develop and build a vehicle. In the States, Developers Malloy Aeronautics says its hoverbug prototype is built to do many jobs that a helicopter is used for, but without the many problems of the helicopter design, i.e. the blades.
The blades of doom.
I just want a flying bike.
And it's also looks to be a bit maybe safer than a helicopter as well, but the only issue that they really, really see, other than, making sure they improve the safety to where it needs to be, is cost. And so
yeah, basically it's just like a giant hover what was it? Drone.
Yeah,
it's like a drone.
exactly.
You ride on a drone.
It'll be much less expensive to buy than a helicopter, and much less expensive to also run. However, it's going to be expensive to probably build the first few prototypes. So that's pretty much what's going on.
Yeah, everything's expensive when they start. It goes down in production as they go.
Exactly.
Yep. Well, that's going to be it here on the Nerd Edification Hour on Alternation Radio. Thank you for listening. And
remember to check us out on Facebook and Twitter, as well as on YouTube.
And I can be found on Twitter at ZensPath. I'll be posting some stuff from Batman pretty soon this week as well.
Cool.
Little hidden things I find.
That'd be cool. And the outro song is from the Team Galactic Battle from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. And until next week, stay fancy.
Peace.